The cold seeped into Jamie's bones as he huddled in the damp corner of the cave, the world outside a distant memory. It had been 3 days, maybe 4, since he had wandered too far during the hike with his classmates. The laughter and shouts had faded, swallowed by the yawning darkness of the cave. Jamie's stomach growled, a deep, angry sound that echoed off the walls, but there was nothing to eat. He had scrounged the cavern for scraps, a few wild mushrooms he dared not touch, and some stagnant water that tasted of earth. Each sip only deepened the gnawing hunger in his gut. His thoughts drifted as he stared into the pitch-black tunnel before him, the shadows dancing like ghosts. The flickering light from his dying flashlight created a macabre show, twisting the rock into ghastly shapes. Jamie pressed his back against the cool stone, trying to ignore the way the cave seemed to breathe around him, its walls contracting and expanding, echoing with whispers that felt almost alive. "Help!" he shouted, his voice trembling and small. The sound vanished, swallowed by the void. Panic clawed at him. He was alone, utterly alone, and the reality of his situation began to morph into something more sinister. Time lost meaning, and soon, his own thoughts betrayed him. He could hear laughter echoing from the darkness, his classmates calling him to join them. The memory of their faces swam before him, distorted and blurred, but he grasped at it, longing for the warmth of companionship. "Jamie!" a voice called, soft yet mocking. It echoed around the cave, bouncing off the walls like a taunt. "Why did you leave us?" He shuddered, pressing his hands to his ears. "I didn't. I'm here," he cried, but the laughter only grew, a cacophony of whispers enveloping him. Fatigue weighed heavily on his eyelids. He had to stay awake. If he fell asleep, what might come for him? Shadows bouncing through the caverns like marionette dolls. He could almost see them moving, creeping closer, their intentions dark and unfathomable. Desperate, he gripped a sharp rock he had found, feeling its jagged edge bite into his palm. It was a weapon, he thought, against the unseen terror lurking just beyond the flashlight's feeble glow. But as the shadows danced closer, they began to take shape. Twisted faces, grinning and grotesque, beckoning him into the dark. "Join us, Jamie," they whispered in unison. "We're waiting for you." Tears streamed down his cheeks, mixing with the dirt and despair that had become his reality. He wanted to scream, but no sound came. Instead, he curled tighter into himself, the rock clutched against his chest. The laughter faded into a low murmur, as if the cave itself were mocking him. In a moment of clarity, he remembered his mother's voice, gentle yet firm, cutting through the haze of madness. "Never give up, Jamie. We will find you." It flickered like a candle in the storm of his thoughts. With newfound resolve, he forced himself to stand, shaky legs carrying him toward the mouth of the cave, where a glimmer of light beckoned like a siren. But the shadows twisted and pulled at him, whispering lies that he was too weak, too lost. The light transformed as he stepped closer, an optical illusion from the flashlight. "Help!" he yelled again, and this time the echo was not met with laughter but with silence, a haunting silence that felt like a weight on his chest. As he took a step forward, the shadows lunged, closing in around him. Jamie knew in that moment that the darkness held its own hunger, and he had unwittingly become its prey. As he succumbed to despair, the cave whispered his name, a chilling lullaby that promised he would never escape.